Hey guys, and welcome to a new video about 3D printing. Today we are going to test how printing speed affects the toughness of an ABS part. I printed this test specimen here, which I will tighten to the table and then just slowly fill up this water bucket until this thing breaks, and then we will just put it on a scale and see how much kilograms it holds. Obviously this is not to examine the material strength like an absolute value, but just a relative value. I printed at 4 different speeds and 5 times each. So this is, for example, 75 millimeters per second. I've got 25 millimeters, 50, 75 and 100 millimeters per second. Yeah, let's get started. So this is 75 millimeters. This is the first one. And before I continue, post your guesses in the comments which one will be the toughest and how much each of them will hold. So these parts are 1 centimeter in width and half a centimeter in thickness at the thinnest part, where it should hopefully break. It might break at a different point, but we'll see. So in the middle it's 1 centimeter by half a centimeter. Also, let's get started with the first 75 millimeters part. Lol, es ist nicht das Teil kaputt gegangen, sondern das Seil gerissen. So, after this failed attempt here, let's start it again with a thicker rope.
Junge! Der schwebt nicht? Der schwebt nicht mehr, weil er sich so weit runtergebogen hat.
Der scheiß Ring ist aufgegangen.
Alter,
also wir sind echt Fail-Lords, Alter.
Oh shit. Oh.
Hey. So it broke off exactly at the thinnest spot as intended. First results 9.511 kg for the part printed at 75 millimeters. I'm gonna do this the same thing for the other 4 parts. Show you the numbers, and then we'll go to the 50 millimeters per second parts. Interestingly, this second piece didn't break off exactly at one layer, but at different layers, which is interesting since that means that maybe there were some inconsistencies in the layers. Let's see how much this holds. 10.251 kg. You get a shock every time this happens. This one also did not break off exactly at one layer. Oh, this one was even stronger. 10.529. Part number 4. Let's go. Oh, this one fell off a lot earlier than the others. Okay. Yeah, also not a super clean cut this time. Interesting. 8.665 kg. So as you can see, there's lots of variation in these parts, and I think having just done this test with one part would not have been precise enough. So maybe the differences between the different parts at the same speed are actually bigger than the differences between the different speeds. Let's see. Yeah. Wow. 11.661 kg. Let's do the middle ones. Let's do the 50 millimeters per second one first. Come on. Okay. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. Okay. You could actually see it a few seconds beforehand that the plastic turned white, so it was about to break. Should have poured it in slowly then. But anyways, let's see how well this works. So this one broke off quite cleanly again, and so specimen number 1 at 50 millimeters per second, exactly 9 kg. Oh, I think it's, yeah. As I said, you can, oh wow, this one did not take that much. Surprising. Seems to be that this slower parts are actually weaker, maybe, because the bonding of the plastic is actually affected by more than just the speed itself. Let's see how much this one held. Wow, this is a new low. just 8.05. Right about when my bottle is empty. 9.15 kg this time. 8.4 kg. 8.627, so within range of the others. Okay, now this is the first part at 100 millimeters per second, so super fast. You can see that the print didn't turn out too nicely this time, so yeah, there are some defects in it. Let's see how well it performs. I think though that these also might be due to insufficient settings and because of moisture in the filament. So anyways, let's see how well the layers bond, and here we go in 3, 2, 1. What the heck? So this one broke more unexpectedly than the others. You definitely could not tell by that it was already about to break, like with the others. So I think that's also something interesting to note. Let's see how much this is. About the same as the 50 millimeters per second parts. But it's only the first one. Let's see how well the others are performing. $9.385. Oh. And this one broke a little earlier, definitely. 7.804. So this is definitely the weakest part so far. Fourth one at 100 millimeters a second. Yeah. Every freaking time the same. Wow, this one was actually really strong. 10.431 kg. By far stronger than any part printed at 50 millimeters a second. 7.817. So this is interesting. We just started to prepare for the first 25 millimeters per second part, and it actually broke off before we even started because we already had some water in, since we thought, okay, it's gonna hold at least 1 kg less than the lowest one, but apparently it doesn't. So the print itself looks cleaner, but it seems to be less stable. Let's see and put it on the scale. So it did not hold this much, and this is just 6 kg. So it's definitely weaker than the other parts. The slow one is weaker. Holy shit! So also the second part broke off. And it held for a moment, and I was going to get the camera, and then it broke off. But take a look at the bucket, it's almost empty. So they seem to be actually super, super weak. And they also break off at random layers. Like the first one broke off very late. This one broke off at a very early layer. I'm just gonna put this one on the scale. So 3 kg, and it already broke off. So the 4 times faster print speed was actually also 3.5 times stronger than this. Okay, part number 3 at 25 millimeters per second. Let's see if we can film how it breaks this time. Yeah, okay. There we go. So that one seemed to have had hold a bit more than at least the second one, but it's definitely less than the others. Yeah, 6.163 kg. Yeah. Okay. 5.513. 5.5552. So here you can see a comparison between the 25 millimeters per second parts on the left side, which broke off earlier, and the 75 millimeters per second parts, which seem to be the strongest. So the plastic actually turned white on these because the layer adhesion was so great that it actually, well, was just at the actual strength of the plastic itself. While on the left side you can clearly see that just the layer adhesion was not so great, so that's why the cuts are very clean and not very wide at all. Also, they broke off later, so further at the top, while these ones really broke off at the thinnest part, and also actually not at one clean layer, but well, the layer adhesion was so strong that it just broke off at different layers. I don't know why the camera is not able to focus. There we go. You can see the difference. Let's zoom in a bit.
So here you can see the final plot figure. As you can see, the slow parts performed a lot worse. I'm assuming that it might have to do with how the molecules actually align themselves at various printing speeds. Maybe because they were printed so slowly, they are like randomly aligned, and these ones are actually in parallel to each other. I don't know, but it's just what I observed. And as you can see, the 75 millimeters per second seems to be best, but the arrows between the different speeds are within each other, so you can pretty much assume that it doesn't influence it a lot as long as the other settings are matching. So I will put them all in the description, but I've printed at very high temperatures at 250 degrees, and also at a relatively thick layer height, 0.25 millimeters with a 0.6 millimeter nozzle. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you like this, and next up is hopefully going to be more MATLAB content and maybe a bit more 3D print experiments, and obviously at some point this Minecraft video, but I can't promise yet when it's gonna be finished. So see you and have a good time. Bye.